The past few videos I've done live were all like 20-minute plus, and then I just kept talking and kept talking and kept like asking people question and everything. So I want to make this one short, and it's gonna be very short. Questions to ask yourself when you're not profitable. Basically, in trading, there's not that much that we have to know and to learn to become profitable. Okay, it's not that hard. There's three parts that people need to master. We've talked about that many times on the channel. So it's the strategy, the execution, and the money management to back it up. If you have these three things in place, Kevin from Uganda, cool. If you have these three things in place, you can become profitable, and that's all you need. There's nothing fancy, nothing complicated, but there is a powerful thing if you're not reaching your goals right now. And I've discovered that myself a couple of, I would say, a year ago. It's called the power of asking questions. Whenever you ask questions to yourself, you get to answer them. Like it's kind of automatic. You don't think about it. You like come up with solution, come up with answers to it. If I were to ask you a question, you would come up with answers pretty quickly. And those answers could be really, really good. Not all of them are going to be good, but some of them are going to be very powerful. So if you can ask yourself questions about your performance or what you're doing now in trading, you get to kind of find ways to improve. And that is all there is to it. We could compare like trading to kind of a road. Like you see when you drive a car on the road, there's like the road and then there's like lines and everything that guides where you're supposed to go. The only thing with trading is that there's no like we don't see the line in advance. We don't see like whether this is going to be a good trade or a bad trade, or we don't see like where the market's going. So the only way for us to adapt and to change our behaviors and to improve basically is to track and to ask yourself questions on how things are and what we can do to get better basically. That's all there is to it. So what you want to do is you want to find maybe one question for all categories, the three categories we talk about, and you ask yourself like out of 10 how would I rank myself in that category. Would I be like a 2 in execution, or would I be like a 8 or a 9 or whatever, or what did I do wrong? Like basically that's the framework I use. I ask myself like pretty much every week or every month depending on like the time frame of my trade. I ask myself like what did I do well on that topic, what did I do wrong, and how can I improve. Those are basically 3 questions per category. Okay, so trading strategy. What did I do well with my trading strategy? What do I have in place that's good? Well, I have my plan, I have my journal, I have things that I follow, like a checklist. This is good. I've tested my stuff. This is good. And then what did I do wrong? Well, for now, my strategy is pretty good. Like, I know what I'm supposed to do, so everything is fine. How can I improve? Well, this one is like pretty good. It's pretty down to earth, it's pretty simple. I don't have much ways to improve, unless I found new ways with my backlisting now. Hence why I spent some time doing these things. But for now, it's pretty fun. But execution might be different, right? So what did I do well with execution? Well, I took these trades. Those trades were all good. I had like 90% of my trade right and like good trades. What did I do wrong, or like what is not right? Well, I've seen myself kind of hesitating and missing trades sometimes. How can I improve? Well, I can like figure out ways to not miss trades. I can be more consistent with my schedule, or try to reduce the time that I cannot watch the computer to not trade. And this is not going to be missed trades. It's going to be trade that I voluntarily do not take. Hey, brother from the mother. Cool. Stefan, what's up? Nice. So, what was I saying? Yeah, basically, the goal with this is you want to ask yourself a question like every week, like periodically, every week or every month. How is my execution? Did I do things right? What do I need to work on with my execution? On the 3 parts: trading strategy, execution, money management. And if you get to ask yourself question on those, you get to answer those, and you get to find like ways to improve. And I'm pretty sure like you guys tonight are not new. Like Serge, Charles-Antoine, we have Kevin, Stefan. I really doubt you guys are like beginning traders. Like you don't know anything about trading. I think you guys are pretty advanced. So, and you've probably listened to a couple of episodes of the podcast before. You've probably read many books. You've read like tons of things. You've seen tons of things. So it's kind of easy for you to have some basic knowledge, and that's pretty much all you need in trading. You don't need much like advanced, like deep secret knowledge. You just need the basics. And once you have the basic and something's not going right, you are able to find the ways yourself to improve. But you need to ask yourself those questions. You need to like spend 5 minutes of like not trading, not looking at the chart, not doing like anything, not listening to something, just to like ask yourself a question. And if you want to make it powerful, you write it down. You take a notebook, you write your answers, and then you have ways to work on. Right? That's really powerful. Because as I said, trading is not going to be a place where you see what's coming and you say, "Oh, okay, I see the road, I see these lines are turning, so I'll like reduce the speed or whatever." It's very rarely you see that. So you have to spend some time analyzing what happened. Like, did you turn not enough? Did you go too straight? Like, what happened? So you can go back and reevaluate, and that's all there is to it. So you need to spend some time asking yourself questions, answering those questions on paper, and working on those questions. And speaking of question, if you guys have any question, comment in the chat box. I would love to answer them. If not, I'll finish it here. I wanted to make this short, and I'm about to reach 10 minutes. But if you guys have some question, comment in the chat box, and we'll make sure to answer those questions. Yeah, nice. Cool. We have NTV game. What's up? Nice. I have a question for you. You talk about becoming a master at your setup and only trading one setup. But how does one develop multiple strategies with the same setup? Right. Well, there's two ways you can go about it, about trading different setup. And I know this guy's gonna make me go over time for sure. But anyway, it's fine. Well, either you take the same setup, and I know a lot of traders who like professional traders, and even the trader I know that trades the most money, he's trading only one setup. He has one indicator, one thing. He's trading this simple thing, but he's gonna trade it like on different time frames on a few different instruments, and only that is like really really good for everything. He's trading like millions. He's doing like I don't like it's just crazy thinking about it, but he's trading one setup, one indicator on different time frames and on different instrument, like not like 20 40 like 40 50 60, like maybe 4 or 5 instrument, or I think 6, but he's looking at them every day on like the 5-minute chart and a little bit above also. And that's all you need basically. If you have only one setup, you become the master at your setup, and that's very powerful. So that's something you can do if you want to like tweak your setup a little bit. So let's say you're looking at me for an engulfing candle with your Bollinger Band, for example. Well, maybe that's your setup. It doesn't mean that you cannot like tweak it a little bit. So maybe you could add the hammer that you want to trade. Maybe you're gonna add, I don't know, like the doji whenever it breaks the Bollinger Band. But you can add some small things like this, so that you don't have only one thing. Well, you kind of have one thing, but you have different kind of small variations. Not big things, like not like you're gonna have a breakout strategy, a pullback strategy, a like Bollinger Band reversal strategy. So you try to like reduce a little bit, okay? So you can have some small variations, but not like big variation if you want to make it simple. If you really want to become the master. Let's see. Is that but to check different time frame and pair? Yes, of course. The time frame are gonna have different results, but the thing is, if you want to make it as like pretty much as reliable on any time frame, you have to ideally, and this is like what I've seen so far, is you want to right. So you want to use kind of the major zones that you trade at. So not only taking the setup like anywhere, but you want to look at specific zones, and that could be zones with, I don't know, like support zones, or like when we're not trending or something like that, because some time frames are going to trade more than others. So if you try to limit your setup to like a trend or a specific level, that's going to improve the accuracy of it. And also the other thing is that you might want to take partial profits. This is something I've seen. I was trading like a long time ago, multi-time frame, and I was trading the daily chart and sometimes the 15-minute chart. But the 15-minute chart was really not like reliable. I would have like maybe 30% of my trade, like if I were using the same strategy, 30% of the trade would be losers. Okay, so that, or like 70% would be losers with a 2-to-1 reward to risk, which is bad. But by just taking some profit at 1-to-1, like when price goes one reward in my favor, I would like at least close 50% of these trades like this. So 50, like at least 50% would go beyond break even, which is like how I was able to overcome the low accuracy on that time frame. That's something you can try. Take partial profits. You're gonna have less like reward over time, but at least you have less losing trades, which might be good. What's next? I don't know anything about binary options. I only know people who got like bad experiences with that, but I don't know. I guess the setups are the same analysis, but you kind of have a different exit, which I'm not familiar with. But I prefer not talk about binary options. But I'll ask you, Andrew, why you want to use binary options? With all these stories of like people getting, I guess, scam or whatever, why you want to use binary options? I'm kind of curious. These set up like Ban, Hammer, and Doji are programmable. Stefan, yeah, that's a good question, and man, I'll definitely go over time. That's a good question. Stefan is saying basically, most of the setup with the Bongjaban, like the Doji or whatever the angle thing or the hammer, are really easy to code. Like they're super simple. But I could show you results of all these like trades, and they're like losers over a long period of time, based on the fact that the main way I've seen to make those profitable is to use what we call the market phase. And I've showed you guys like before yesterday and a couple of days ago, and we talk about this in my academy a lot. But the market phase is like how price behaves. And if you only use a setup, and that's gonna work for everything, like the RSI, the Bollinger Bands, the moving averages. If you only use one setup, it's gonna be very difficult to make it profitable because you're not considering the market phase. Like if you, because the thing that's happening with this is that all the setup you take in a trend, like against the trend, you're gonna get like you're gonna get killed. It's gonna be terrible because all these trades are gonna be losers until you get like a good trade that like makes you a big profit. But they're all gonna be losers because it's not made to trade against the trend. And trading coding the trend on a like MetaTrader 4 is very hard. Like it's almost impossible. Well, the trend is possible, but it's kind of a little bit tough. Trading support resistance is really hard, and that's where you get your edge. So it's not easily programmable. You can find ways to make it more reliable, like by adding moving averages to check the trend or whatever. Or I don't know, you can do like the ADX to look at the strength of the trend. That's doable, but most of your edge with that comes from the support resistance areas you identify on higher time frame. Let's see, I got lost. Okay, Andrew, I don't. No binary option. Cool. That's good. That's good. Yeah, maybe it's easier. I have no idea. Oh man, I hate this one. Kevin, good question. Since I've interviewed over 100 traders, what uh what edge these people have in the market? Or so that's a broad question, but try to narrow it down. Yeah, sure. Okay, I think the best thing that's gonna be here, and I know I've interviewed many people, but one of my big inspiration was Jack Schwager. And when I interviewed Jack Schwager, the author of Market Wizard, I asked him, "Well, so Mr. Schwager, like, what is like? Have you found some things that all these traders you've interviewed have in common?" And he said, "Well, the only thing I've seen with all these interviews is that they all do things differently. They all have something different, and they're always going to contradict like traders are always going to contradict themselves on different topics, whether that's taking profit, stop loss, whatever, like fundamentals, technicals. So it's always going to be different. One of the things though that I've seen like over and over again is kind of, that's going to be broad, but kind of the mindset, how people see things, how people see a loss, how people see like a bad time, how people see probabilities, and that's very important. Like if you're a guy if you're someone who's like frustrated after a loss, you cannot be profitable. Like it's impossible. If you're someone who like you get down on yourself, you miss trades because you've lost the past 5 trades. Well, no, it's not gonna work. If you are someone who come in the market and like an artist, you try to take trades, try to like see what's happening, and like you get all weird with that, and you try to spot setup that they're gonna be winning. You're not gonna be profitable. It's simple, right? So they have their plan. They treat this as a job. They have the mindset behind it to support it, and that's all there is to it. Like we've talked about it a few minutes ago, right? The trading strategy, the money management, and the execution. Ask yourself which one you're doing like the best, which one you're doing not really good, and how you can improve. And those are all things that all the traders have in common. They all have a strategy. They all have, yeah, man. They all have a strategy. They all have uh, a good execution, and they all have the money management to support it. Because traders with a big risk of ruin, like who risk blowing up their account, are going to be profitable for some months, and after that, you're not going to see them. They're going to be like, they're not going to be traders anymore. They're going to be outside and doing something else, having a job or whatever. So that's pretty common, I think. And I don't know, I'm maybe going to do a post about the top 100 lessons of all the podcast episode. That could be good. Actually, that could be a good idea. I'll think about it, and I'll let you guys know. It's cool. Stephen, okay, cool. Yeah, man. Oh, man. On TV Games saying that was a 10-minute episode, like 10-minute video a couple of minutes ago. Now it's turning a almost 20-minute video. It's pretty cool. Yeah, or being homeless. Yeah, that's true. I don't know what happened with traders, but who mentioned this? There was a guy. I think that's Will Hunting. He said like he's been trading for a couple of years, and he said like with all the traders he had like in contact, all the his contact on Skype or whatever, like he's looking back at them and maybe I don't know 5% are trading now, and they were all profitable traders back then. They were all like successful. So it's like why is that? And I think it's not that hard. I think it's the fact of I don't know. It's kind of hard because I don't know. I don't have the experience of like going through being successful and then not successful, so I cannot really speak on that. But the point is that if you don't have the strategy and the money management in place, or if you take like useless risk, then like guess what? It's gonna happen, right? Risk of ruin is not for nothing. Risk of ruin means the risk of ruining your account, of blowing up, of not being there tomorrow to trade. All right. So if you have a risk of ruin bigger than zero, guess what? Like it's increasing over time. Okay. So that's really really important. What else? If I need 2K to make a living, uh, yeah, that's cool. Focus on the process, exactly. That's the part. Yeah, that's powerful, man. Focus on the process. That's a big key. Learn how to trade first, and money will follow. Yeah. And it's funny. I think that was for the Academy page. I wrote about that recently. Like so many times in the past year, I've been told just become consistent in trading and the money will follow. Like the money will find you. Like the money to trade from other people. Like money will like chase you and something. And I've seen like the past year how true that is. How true that is that if you become profitable, if you become consistently profitable in trading, and like there's always gonna be good time, bad time. But if you become generally profitable in trading, the money will find you. And so many people told me that, but I've seen it myself this last year with getting money from other people to trade, and that's pretty cool. But you just have to see it yourself, and sometimes you don't really believe it until it really happens, and like you get this amount of money to trade, and you just didn't expect it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, you have a strategy but no edge too. Yeah, that's of course. If you trade the wrong thing, like guess what? It's not gonna happen. But again, if you do what we talked about today in the video at the beginning, this is a part if you do what we talk about, which is asking yourself question, going back to evaluate what you did, like of course you're gonna get better. Of course you're gonna see like the problem coming, and that's the thing. And I've said that like 3 times right now. But if you like trading is like going on the road and driving a car, except that when you drive the car, you see the lines that are like you see them far away, like they tell you like where to turn and everything. But in trading, you don't see it. So the only way for you to know what to do is to evaluate and to look back. Well, did I crash a little bit or did I go straight and was I fine with my car? So that's why you have to reevaluate, ask question, and go back on things. That's very important. Cool, cool, Stefan. Nice words. I appreciate. Cool. That's good. Happy. I didn't plan that, so it's all improvised. But yeah, happy. If it can make you feel better and keep you moving forward, that's nice. Uh, yeah, it's NTV game. That's nice. People have asked me to trade for them, and I'm not even profitable. I'm not even profitable, which is cool. It happens, of course, but that means you have some kind of line, like something lined up, which is really really good. And I'm planning. I'm starting to see like how to get more, because of course like money is not gonna fall in the sky, and like you're not gonna get money every day to trade. And I'm at a point where I want to get more money to trade, which means I kind of have to experiment a little bit and try to see what happens. And like I don't know if I'll screw up or something, but I'm trying to find new ways to get money, and I'll tell you guys more about that. But it all starts with people. It all starts with connecting with people that kind of you can trade for, right? I have one more question. Cool. Okay, I'll answer NTV Games question because he's one of my student, and I'll answer these quickly. So I guess he's typing right now, but sure. Can you speak on leverage? I don't know what I was saying before. Okay, can you speak on leverage? If you are trading like with the right risk of ruin and everything, you shouldn't even care about leverage. Like it shouldn't be a word in your dictionary, because I don't know. I have like leverage of like 1 to 30 or something, but I don't even use it. Right? If you risk only 1% of your account, you can take multiple trades before like hitting a maximum, unless you take like 20 trades a day, which or 20 trades at a time, which I doubt you do. But for me, if I only have like maximum 5 trades at a time, I only use the basic leverage, and that's it. Yeah, focus on risking less than 2%. Exactly. That's the thing. That's exactly right. Uh, what are some quick tips you can share for those of you? Yeah, Alex. What I'll do is I'll put a link below this video, maybe now or after. There's an article on my blog, and it's basically like the process you should follow. Try to see like what steps you missed. I'll try to type at the same time as I talk, but try to see that like what steps you missed and what you need to do like to stuff to type and talk. But yeah, it's called like the Forex Trader Blueprint or something. Try to see like what steps you have and what things you didn't do, and try to see like how you can like what you can do to get better. And basically ask yourself like this question, exactly what we talked about today. What is the problem now? Is it the plan, like the strategy, or is it the execution, or is it the money management? Okay, there's only three things, and you only have to pick like the one. Like, don't say like, well, everything is wrong right now. I'm like a bad trader. I'm losing at everything. No, like don't. It's not gonna work. So pick the one you want to work on, like the one thing that you need to work on the most, and then you work on that. Then like all you do, all you follow, all you listen to our podcasts, videos, books. Well, you read books, but whatever. All you follow are gonna be things on that topic, not on other topics. And don't try to learn about strategies or other things that do not make any sense. All right, learn about what you need to learn about, because you're the only one who can know right now what is like the thing that you need to work on the most. And like I can help you figure out that stuff if you need, but if not, you can figure out yourself by asking yourself questions like we talk about today. But that's all there is. You pick the part you need to work on, and you make it your priority to work on that part. Okay, let me answer NTV Games questions. Where did you know you were profitable? Oh, yeah, nice. I don't think I want to answer that now. I think I just recorded a podcast interview, like a reverse podcast interview with Kevin Hunt from Price Action Trader Institute. He's basically interviewing me on my podcast, which is going to be available, I think, in 2 weeks. I think I want to leave you guys with this interview. And I didn't even think a second I would do trading like full time at one point. I thought I would keep it as a part time thing until I really like got the passion to do it more, and to still searching to basically to like help people at the same time. And that's where I kind of made the like the commitment. And then once I started to trade for other people, that's when I made the shift to kind of pretty much doing it full time. So about like a year ago. But before that, I didn't expect that at all. Okay, so let me just type the link. Blueprint. So you guys are gonna see. I think that's gonna be updated like pretty soon. But in the description for this video, there's gonna be a blueprint link. That's the article I talked about. Try to figure out like what steps you missed, what things you didn't do right, and then go back and try to work on these things. It's gonna be pretty simple. NTV gave me a leverage like he has 200 or something. Yeah, I know in Europe the leverage is really, really, really high, and that's yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I just want to finish with this, and I know it's gonna be over 20 minutes once again, and I fail at that time management thing. But here's like the biggest lesson I got in trading was kind of this thing: the fact that we have to think in terms of probabilities, and all the trades you take, whether the setup is like perfect, like the best setup you've ever seen in your life, like it's mind blowing, that could be a losing trade. That could be as much of a losing trade as any other trade you take. And all the trades you take basically probably have this 50-50 chance of being a winning trades or a losing trade. So I used to put so much attention on the fact that I was looking at this trade, analyzing that chart. I was like, I was supposed to be good at analyzing and taking the right trades. So if I was losing 10 trades in a row, well, I was bad, right? But those things can be normal. Those things can happen every single day. And if you see this as probabilities, that all trades can be good, well, winning trades or losing trades, well, that's where you see the power of probabilities. And that's where you start to understand trading. And that comes from, I think, Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Excellent book if you guys want to read it. And that's a really, really good book. So I think I'll finish it here. I don't want to be over 30 minutes, so I'll finish it here so we can claim it's below 30 minutes to have 25 seconds. Thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it a lot. And if you have any questions, just comment and feel free to reach out. I love to hear you guys' stories and help you out. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next video, which is going to be pre-recorded. All right. Ciao, guys.